You in code.
Welcome to Soul Guide with Vondie Lozano, a show about past lives, life between lives, and this life.
Hey, everybody, it's Vondie, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. We have a special topic and a special guest. I went to a guided imagery training a few weeks ago with Kathy Caldwell, and I'm using her book, the Guided Imagery Handbook. And it was in our blog post we shared this month, which we'll post for you. There was a guided imagery you could do. And I told people, if you come on today, we can talk and find out more about your symbols. And we actually have someone who was willing to come on live with us and tell us a little bit about his symbol so we can show you that that's one way your soul speaks to you. So just like your soul uses dreams to speak with you and they use symbols, we use symbols in our waking imagery, which is guided imagery, and we can learn about what our soul is trying to tell us through that. So let me bring David into the stream. Here we go. Hey, David.
Vondie, how are you?
Hey, so happy to have you here today. So it'd be nice if we could find out a little. Well, actually, I know about you, but if you don't mind sharing a little bit about yourself so people can get to know you. So just tell me a little bit about where you are and maybe what you do or the kind of work you do. And I know you have some really interesting hobbies too.
I have interesting what?
Hobbies, your music.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm Dave. Up here in the high desert, I'm a painter for a local school district in the area. And yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, great. And then what made you interested in this particular topic? You know, I always post things in my Facebook group, and you're one of the Facebook group people that we love hearing from. And not that we don't love hearing from everyone, but Dave contributes a lot, which is really nice. But when you saw this guided imagery, what made you think about doing it?
Well, I'll start with when I first met Vondie. It was through Life Between Lives hypnosis. And I was introduced to that through the Michael Newton book, Journey of Souls. And a few years later, I took the plunge and I made the call and did a couple sessions, private sessions with Vondie, and that was an eye opener. And then at the retreat, well, first at the Malibu retreat, she introduced the guided imagery for us. It was a group retreat, and yeah, I quickly realized how powerfully effective it is as a healing tool.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just so you know, my husband Henry is saying, "Hey, David." So Henry helps out with some of our events, and at the last event, the workshop, David was there. So they became friends. They were buds talking, and you were helping us set up. So that was where
Yeah.
you guys
Likewise.
got to know each other. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so are you ready to get started?
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay. So, and I am going to take notes. So for those of you who are joining us, um, this is my first time doing this live, so it's kind of fun for us. So, describe your. So there's just so you know, we Leticia, my wonderful assistant, posted our blog post for February. How you can use guided meditation to love yourself and live your best life. Because we were thinking with Valentine's that one of the ways we attract people to us is by feeling good about ourselves. So when I did the guided imagery training, it was very affirming about where I am and what I want to be and what I'm called to be, kind of how to live your best life, be your best self. So you can do the imagery for yourself in our blog post. So that's why we're posting it and sharing it for you in the comments. So David already went ahead and did it. So you recorded it for yourself and then listened to the recording. Is that how you did it?
No, that was a good idea, but I didn't. I actually read it
Okay.
because I'm well versed at meditation, and so I just took the time. I was at work on my break when I did it.
On his break. On his break. Okay.
Yeah, and so I went there pretty quick, And
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
And got it. Okay. And some people I know actually recorded it and then played it for themselves. But if you're able to just relax and go into that meditative state, you can just read through it. Okay. So describe the symbol you received, its size, shape, color, what you were aware of.
Well, when first it was out of focus, it was like it was blurry. And I'm like, what is that? When it came into focus, it was a pi symbol, but like the mathematical symbol for pi.
Hmm.
It wasn't apple pie or cherry pie. And it was like on a stone disc, and the image was raised from the stone disc. And I'm no math
I'm
guy.
writing this down. Okay.
Not knowing anything about pi, because I'm not a math guy. It was mysterious to me, like, what the heck is this? I mean, why pi? Yeah, so
Okay. So what was your overall impression? I'm going to ask you, I have questions again from
okay.
Kathy's book.
Yeah, my overall impression was, why pi?
Why pie? Okay. And then just again, a shout out to Kathy. It's called the Guided Imagery Handbook. And Leticia will put that in the comments too. Oh, and people are saying, hello, beings of light. Hello. Thank you for being here. So did you notice, did it have any color or texture?
Yes, it was stone. It was like a stone. Well, I don't want to say disc. It was more of a rounded stone, but perfectly circular, and the image was raised in stone, but raised protruding from the actual stone itself.
Okay. Was it engraved? You froze for a second.
No, it wasn't engraved. It was raised, a raised
Raised.
image. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then I know you looked it up. Do you want to tell us what you found when you looked it up?
Oh my goodness, it's intensive. Well, extensive. The It's used to measure or to calculate the radius, or the here, let me pull that up.
Okay.
You math folks probably know better than I do. Um, the circumference of a radius of a circle,
Uh-huh.
yeah, or it equals 3.14.
Okay. So
Uh,
so
right.
I'm gonna keep going and thank you. I
Okay.
see people joining us. Wonderful. So we're doing this live. So David is basically volunteering to be in his session, in a guided imagery session live with us. So I'm really excited. Okay. So what did you like most about it?
Uh, that it became so clear. I mean, it was evident that it was something that I knew nothing about.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask you all the questions kind of just to get the information. Then we're going to go back and dig a little deeper.
Okay.
What did you like least about it?
That I knew nothing about it.
Okay. Pretty unknown. Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did it feel when you became the pi symbol? So that's one of the questions is become the symbol.
Very, I want to say, wise and peaceful.
Okay. And you know what I just realized? It might
What?
be helpful for people who are listening who haven't done this, that I'm just going to quickly list some of the questions the guided imagery asks. Is that okay with you, David?
That's fine.
Okay. So in front of you, you see a symbol that represents your life. So we're kind of getting in touch with your life. What's its size, its shape, your impression, what do you like best, what do you like least? And then we say, become this symbol, whatever the symbol of your life is. How do you feel? And then, as the symbol, looking at you, the person, basically, what do you think of you, the person? And then, what do you want you, the person, to know? So, I'm going to come back through all these.
Okay.
And then what advice does the symbol have? And then come back to being yourself again. And then we flesh it out a little bit. But for those of you listening, that's in the blog post. And then the questions I'm asking David now are in there too. Okay, so coming back to you, I saw you resonate with something. So let me come back to how did it feel when you felt wise and peaceful. So when you were the pie, what did you think of you, the person, David?
Well, I looked at myself as one who's wondering what the heck's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then as you, the pie symbol, what did you want you, the person, to know about you?
Well, the piece in the symbol itself resonated peace to me. Like
The
everything.
piece. The piece. Got it.
Yeah.
And then did the pie symbol, when you were the pie symbol, did you have any advice for you, the person, David?
Just trust.
Trust. Okay, great. And then how do you feel about the pie symbol and what did you say to it when you were the person again?
I was more baffled by why pie.
Okay. So just again, baffled. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what does the pie symbol mean to you? Like, what's the first thing you think of when you hear or see the symbol pie?
Mystery. To me, it means mystery.
Mystery.
It's scary to me, yeah. Because then again, I'm not a math guy. So if I were, I would have probably known, oh, it's a mathematic.
Okay. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to go back through and we're going to go a little deeper. And I see a few more people chiming in or joining us. So welcome. So we just went through the questions about how the symbols work. And then now we're going to go a little bit deeper and see how it relates to your life. So what do you think of when you think of something? Well, first of all, out of focus, blurry. What does that mean to you?
Well, normally in meditation, when things are revealed to me, I am always wondering, they have to come into focus. They're not just instantly there, the images.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, when I do meditation now in your guided imagery at the retreats, it was profoundly clear.
Right.
There's a slight difference there.
Thank you. So, hi, Shelly. I see Shelly joining us. Shelly was one of the people I know who recorded it, and she has some symbols. She'll share it with us after. So, things sometimes start out unclear and then become clear. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Start out unclear. And I'm just writing down everything he says. Become clear. And then what do you think of with the stone and the rounded image?
That it was natural. It was natural.
Okay.
Thing.
And just so you know, in the guided imagery handbook, which David and I both have, they have a list of universal symbols at the back. And so sometimes you can look up things like, what does it mean when it's round? Or what does it mean when it's a stone? But we always want to find out what that means to you first. So natural and the fact that it was raised.
Yeah, and the stone, it was a natural element. And the image was raised off of it was connected to it, but like raised lettering, that's what it looked like, image.
And then when you read that it's used to measure 3.14, did that connect with you in any way?
No.
Okay. So it was unclear and unknown, but when you were the symbol, you were wise and peaceful. So what do you make of that?
There's a message in there.
What do you think the message is?
Well, I got trust. That's what I
trust.
Yeah.
Trust. And you said you were wondering what the heck is going on, but as the symbol, he wanted you to know peace and trust. And then how do you feel about the symbol baffled? So I hear this like unclear, but then natural. And then, so I hear this kind of juxtaposition baffled, mysterious, but the message of trust, wise, peaceful. How
Yeah.
does any of this ring a bell for you?
Well, it spurred me to really research what the heck pi really is and what it's used for. And it's not only to calculate a radius or circumference of a radius, if I'm even saying that right. But it's used in it pertains to other things. So the fact that pi in mathematics, oh, there it is, the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter. All right, so the 3.14, those numbers go on and on and on.
Mhm.
Infinite,
On and on and on.
on,
Infinity.
yes, and seemingly random, but um, it isn't. It's not. And so as I researched what the heck pi is and what it's used for, it says what distinguishes pi from all other numbers is its connection to cycles.
And how do you resonate with that, the connection to cycles?
Well, there's more. Whenever we think about rhythms, processes that repeat periodically with a fixed tempo, like a pulsing heart or a planet orbiting the sun, we inevitably encounter pi. So it is, as I became aware, it is, here it is. It's a component, or you can say it's what makes the universe. At a deeper level, pi appears to be both a statement of uncertainty and the behavior. It captures the fundamental behaviors of atoms and subatomic particles. In short, pi is woven into the descriptions of the innermost workings of the universe.
Okay, so let's come back to
Whoa,
you.
mind blown.
So let's come back to you. So if
Yeah,
this symbol that represents the innermost workings of the universe had a message for you, what would you say the message would be?
to trust that all is well.
Yeah,
My mind was blown.
yeah.
My, oh,
So
yeah.
to trust that all is well. Because what I'm hearing is blurry, out of focus,
Mm-hmm.
on this natural stone structure, unclear, but then juxtaposed with wise and peaceful and trust.
Yes.
And what do you think of when you think of the stone and the raised? What's being raised? What do you feel like is raised? What do you think of when you hear the word raised?
It's a pronounce. When we look at a stone, the way I see it, it's something that you see every day. It's stone.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a like a mundane aspect of the earth. There's stone, there's water, there's air, and fire. My sister's probably thinking, "Don't forget fire, Dave." Um, but it is an element, a natural element.
Hmm.
And we take for granted that we see such things every day. We come conditioned to it, and as just an everyday object.
Hmm.
That
So
much.
Again, I hear clear and unclear, blurry, wise, peaceful, baffled, trust, mystery, infinity, uncertainty. So, how would all of that relate to you? Anything related to your current life today
Oh,
about
yeah.
mystery, infinity, and trust and baffled?
Yeah, yeah, because the things that occur in my life, um, they seem random, and I know that there's a pattern to this. I know that there's a purpose to this.
Ah, there we go.
Deals with you, um, where my main question was, "What is my purpose?"
Right. Right.
Um, when things seem random and haphazard, they really aren't. They're
Right.
not.
Right.
That's what that means to me.
I think so. I love this, David Shelley is saying. I know you can't see the comments. I think that that's it because what I hear is blurry, but raised is like to me I hear like raising consciousness or it's trying
Uh,
to get your attention. That's why I
yes,
was asking what it means to you. It's trying to
yeah,
get your attention and that
definitely got my attention.
things are blurry, but then there's this blurry, mysterious, baffled, even in pi, uncertainty. But
Yeah,
then there's this trust, peaceful, wise, and infinity of the universe, that it all makes sense.
yeah. In what the seemingly chaotic world that we live in, there are reasons. There are reasons for.
And yes, and where do you think the peaceful wise fits in?
Well, I think. Well, some would call it source. Some would call it God. Some would call it the universe. But it is the divine, um, infinite knowledge that is being bestowed to the student from the teacher.
Yeah. So who do you think is peaceful and wise?
Well, to me, that's God.
Okay.
Yes.
So this all makes sense in the even though things feel blurry, there's actually rhythm and cycles and
Yes.
certainty and purpose in the inner workings of the universe.
Yes. Yeah. It's really weird, but yeah, it makes sense that, um, when things happen and we're wondering, "Hey, this is taking me off course." I we have an idea of where we need to be and how we think we should get there. And when it doesn't happen, we feel like we're thrown off course.
Ah,
But because the river meanders, it's still going to its destination.
right. Right. So, is there any way in which this information could be useful to you in your life today, your present life today?
Very comforting to me. It's
Ah,
very, yes. And I
okay.
think I needed that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else you would like to add? I know I was kind of asking a lot of questions, but my experience is if the more we flesh it out, the symbol lets us know what it's here to tell you.
Yeah. And I really needed that message. And sometimes we don't know we need to hear something, you know. We think we have it all figured out. And just when we think, I know what's happening, we really don't. We
Mm.
don't.
Well, and what I love is in the midst of the blurry uncertainty mystery, there's the peace and the wisdom and the inner workings of the universe that you connect to source. Like that
Yeah.
that there's the one and then there's the other.
Yeah. The blurriness I would call uncertainty. Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I'm just going to look really quick and see what we have for stone. If I have anything. Stones. Oh, there's different kind of stones listed. Oh my goodness.
This is
So
like
let me look and see if there's anything back here.
if you wanted to compare it to any stone, it'd be more like granite.
Granite. Okay. Stones, granite. Strength, endurance, beauty, and diversity. How does that feel?
What is that describe? What is that describing? The stone
That is-
itself?
yeah, what do you think it's describing?
Say that again.
Strength, endurance, beauty, diversity.
Yeah. It kind of describes what I need to cultivate.
Would it be, I know you're very humble, but would it be possible that those are the qualities that you already embrace
That
and
would,
have?
Vondie, yes, that would be.
Yeah. And I could say that because I know you.
Yes, you do.
Okay. So, and I forgot to ask, was the stone smooth or rough?
It was smooth.
Okay. And how did that feel that it was smooth?
I think, again, we're just going back to the first image of why stone, why, and the smoothness seems like it would be the opposite of rough.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So it's not a coarse texture or a coarse or abrasive, non-abrasive.
No.
Yeah. Smooth.
So even though things are sort of murky, unclear, blurry, it's actually quite smooth and clear and peaceful. And I love how you said the inner workings, interconnection of the workings of the universe. I can't read my writing. Innermost workings of the universe. That everything is actually quite smooth.
Yeah. Despite our interpretations of.
Just great, despite how things look. I can't remember where I heard it. I think it was in somebody's LBL recently, where they said, even though things look like they're not okay, they're actually okay.
Yeah, I remember one of your clients said, and I can't remember who it was, but that the guides told her that everything is okay.
Even when it doesn't look like everything is okay. Right. I think that was Maggie.
I think it was. Yeah.
So, anything else you want to add about how this might relate to your present life? I don't want to put you too much on the spot. I feel like I've already kind of been digging a little bit.
Well,
or you could just say it does relate. You don't have to be specific.
Okay. Yes, it relates. I resonate with
Okay.
this.
All right. Well, as my mediumship friend used to say, I leave you with this. So, blessings. Thank you for coming on. I hope this was
Vondie.
revealing and that it illuminated a little more than just what you had looked up.
Yes, and quite profoundly, I might add.
Oh, yeah. And that you have the beauty and strength and diversity. And I forgot the third one, endurance. Endurance. That's the big one, David.
Thank you, Vondie.
Endurance. So, again, I know from some of your sessions, that I feel like those really fit you. It sounds like this message is for the collective. Well, thank you. Yeah, sometimes even when I did my mediumship work, they said if a message resonates with you, then take that, So I think what I'm hearing from the people who are listening and watching is that it feels like this is a message for all of us. In fact, they wrote, what was it? It sounds like this is for the collective for how things are presenting on this planet. Do you have any response to that, David?
I agree. Most messages that are revealed are for the collective. Yes.
And is there any particular way you can think of how that connects with the collective?
Yeah, we're all, well, the world right now is chaotic. And in the midst of the chaos, a deeper, um, if you look deep enough, you'll see that there's peace, there's actual peace. And although it may not seem like it, um, all is well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm hearing. In the midst of the chaos, things actually really aren't random.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you, thank you. So
Thank
stay on so we can talk a little bit afterwards. And I'm just going to click over and see if we have any more comments. And I'm going to take you off of the screen so you can have a little rest for a second. All right. So you can see how as you dig deeper, the layers, your soul really does use symbols to communicate, just like in our dreams, there's these layers. So very reassuring, everything as it should be. Thank you, David, for sharing. The comments are coming in. Yes, this is a message for the collective. And Shelly, I know you did yours. Did you want to share your symbol, or anybody else who's on who did the guided imagery who would like to share their symbol with us? We would love to hear if you would. I'm just going to look and see if anybody has anything they want to share. Who did the guided imagery? Very reassuring. Everything is as it should be. Shelly, let me copy and paste. Okay, we'll give Shelly a minute. So again, this is from the Guided Imagery Handbook, and it's from Kathy Caldwell, my hypnosis teacher and my guided imagery instructor. So Shelly's going to share her symbol because she was one of the ones who recorded it and then listened to it back herself. So we'll just see what she wants to share with us. And again, we go through what the symbols mean to you before we look at what the more universal, deeper meanings are, because something may mean something to you that's very specific and different than what it might mean to the general public. So that's why we're always kind of mining on that first level, the personal level. Okay. So let me see what Shelly has for us. Let's see. Actually, while we're waiting, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to share with you. Let's see. So we are going to be sharing guided imageries coming in the future. We share them at all our events. So be sure and check them out. We have our April retreat coming up. We're getting signups. I'm very excited. And Shelly, who is still looking for her symbol, is going to be our special guest in March. So we'll hear more from Shelly. All right. I have a feeling she's trying to find it in her computer. We'll just give her another minute. And here we go. Of course, mine was weird. The first time I tried it, I got nothing. So I waited till it was calm and quiet. I got a very sudden and strong image of the Statue of Liberty. Oh, that's pretty cool, Shelly. So I'm going to ask you, Shelly, what does the Statue of Liberty mean to you? And she's thinking and typing. And so basically, we find out first what it means to you, and then we look these things up. If it's not in our book, you can always Google them. What do these kind of symbols mean? A very sudden and strong image of the Statue of Liberty. So a statue is pretty solid. Statue of Liberty, I think of freedom. And I don't know if Shelly has any other impressions. I'm not seeing anything being written. Okay. So I'm going to move on, but thank you. Oh, she was holding her flame so high and clearly was Gaia or Mother Earth. She was welcoming all the beings of the universe to Earth who were coming to her by boat and sky. Wow. So it's a very beautiful message. That's okay. She said it's only letting her type a little bit at a time. But I think that's a pretty profound image of welcome, of freedom, of motherhood. And do any of those resonate with you, Shelley? The welcome, the rescuing, send me you're tired and you're poor. Does any of that resonate with you? Basically, a statue being there for others who are seeking safety in a new life. So if you have any comments, I will invite you to share them, Shelley. Otherwise, maybe you can just reflect on that and we can even hear a little bit from you more next time. So she says she's only able to type a little bit at a time. And I know that I don't want to put her on the spot. So that's a really profound symbol. She stood there steady and strong. Oh, here we go. She just stood there and held steady. I admired her strength and calm. I like least that she felt alone and so much responsibility. My life theme, it seems. I just wanted to support her, not draw my life into her mission. Not quite sure what the last part means. And I don't want to share anything too personal about your sessions, though we're going to be talking about your sessions. But I can say that that's a really good image for Shelley as someone who is strong and responsible, and your life theme of basically being there for other people, Shelley. One person in particular, which we could share more about next time. So thank you. That's very beautiful and moving. And like I said with David, I leave you with that strength for your mothering mission. That's a pretty good fit, I would say. Wow. All right. So thank you, those of you who've been watching. Remember, you can do this own guided imagery for yourself. I put in all the questions so you can just do a quick little voice memo and then listen to yourself. And Shelley even shared in the Facebook, like, wow, you can really hypnotize yourself, which you can just by listening. So make sure you're not driving or doing anything important, that you're resting and in a comfortable, safe place when you do that for yourself. So thank you for watching and listening. Remember to check out our blog. It's in our comments, so you can do this guided imagery yourself. Remember to check out our event page for the retreat, which we'll also post. And Shelley will be here next time, which will be the end of March, to share about her past life session. And then the following month, her Life Between Lives session. And I will just give you a hint. In her past life session, she went up to the top of a mountain where she was given some tablets with rules for how people should get along. So if that sounds like anybody you might know from the Bible, it sounds like somebody I know. She was Moses. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being with us as David and I explored his symbol. And this is just one more way you can connect with your soul self. See you next time.
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and follow. And join us next week for another episode of Soul Guide.